Welcome to our preview of the upcoming EPL match between Newcastle United and Leicester City. Newcastle is vying to complete their first Premier League double against Leicester since the 1994-95 season. The Foxes have lost 3 of their past 4 top-flight games versus the Magpies. Newcastle beat Leicester 2-0 at St James Park on January 10 in the quarter-finals of this season's EFL Cup. Stay tuned for team news, head-to-head stats, and predictions for this exciting matchup. Eddie Howe's men stormed past Brighton and Hove Albion in a 4-1 romping in midweek, while the Foxes' survival hopes suffered another damaging blow in a 3-0 reverse to Liverpool. 1 week on from witnessing Brighton serve Arsenal a slice of humble pie at their Emirates home, the Seagulls were subjected to a dose of their own medicine against Newcastle, who pressed the living daylights out of Roberto De Zerbi's side and took a deserved 2-goal lead into the break through Dan Burn and a Denise Undav own goal. The latter redeemed himself early in the second half to ostensibly set up a nervy finale for the Toon Army, but those in black and white were celebrating come the end of a frenetic added time period, where Callum Wilson and Bruno Guimaraes contributed to the rout to leave the Magpies on the brink of a long-awaited Champions League return. Not since the 2002-2003 season have Newcastle dined at Europe's top table, and they remain third in the rankings following results on Saturday. A point on Monday would seal a top 4 finish thanks to Liverpool's draw with Aston Villa. Demolishing Brighton in the manner that they did was just what the doctor ordered for a Newcastle side who had been thwarted by Arsenal and Leeds United in their previous 2 game weeks, but amid a 9-game run without a clean sheet in the top flight, Howe's side can no longer proudly claim to be the stingiest defense in the division. Their 32 goals conceded is bettered by Manchester City's 31 ahead of the champions' clash with Chelsea. However, the Magpies enter Monday's penultimate Premier League fixture on the back of 5 wins from their last 6 at St James Park, and 7 of their last 9 final home games of the season have ended in victory. Only Liverpool have spoiled the Toon Party in 2019 and 2020 during that sequence, and Leicester can empathize in that regard. In keeping with the theme of Liverpool ruining a pleasant day out for the home crowd, the vexed King Power faithful made their feelings perfectly clear when Jurgen Klopp's side taught the Foxes a footballing lesson last Monday, hitting Dean Smith's men for 3 without reply. After weathering an early storm from those in blue, Liverpool hit Smith's men with 2 Curtis Jones-sized sucker punches as the Merseyside native bagged a brace in a chastening 3-minute period for Leicester, whose fans headed for the exits en masse after Trent Alexander-Arnold picked out the top corner with aplomb in the second half. Starting the penultimate game week of the season 2 points adrift of safety in 19th place, Leicester City can no longer catch Nottingham Forest thanks to their win over Arsenal, but Everton's draw with Wolverhampton Wanderers means that the Foxes could propel themselves out of the relegation zone with a win if Leeds United fail to beat West Ham United on Sunday. A brief 3-game unbeaten run between the end of April and beginning of May sparked some cautious optimism, but that has since been replaced by perennial pessimism for the Foxes faithful, who have witnessed their team concede 8 goals across their last 180 minutes of football. Smith's side have also strung together an unsightly 7-game winless run on the road, albeit while scoring in each of their last 5 away matches, and they have lost their last 3 contests with Newcastle, most recently bowing out of the EFL Cup with a 2-0 quarter-final defeat at St James Park. One sour note of Newcastle's drubbing of Brighton was the serious-looking injury to Joe Willock, who was taken off with a hamstring problem just after the hour mark, and Howe is not optimistic about the 23-year-old's chances of playing again this season. The hosting manager has also admitted concern over a few bumps and bruises from Thursday night's intense battle. Kieran Trippier and Joe Linton will both need late fitness tests, while neither Sean Longstaff, ankle, nor Jacob Murphy, groin, trained in the week. Emil Croft, ACL, Jamal Lascelles, calf, Matt Ritchie, knee, and the exiled Ryan Fraser all remain out of contention as well, and only a second Premier League start should come the way of Elliot Anderson as Willock begins his rehabilitation. In contrast, there is better news on the injury front for Leicester, as Smith has confirmed that Kelechi Iheanacho should be fit and raring to go for Monday's game as he enters the final stages of his recovery from a groin issue, although the Foxes' boss admitted that his recuperation has been fast-tracked. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall is more touch and go with an ankle concern, however, while Keller Soyuncu, thigh, should not return until the final game of the season, which may be his last ever match in a Leicester jersey ahead of an expected move to Atletico Madrid. James Justin, knee, Danny Ward, finger, Ryan Bertrand, fitness, and Jan-Nick Vestergaard, calf, are all taking up beds in the King Power Infirmary too, and Smith may consider a recall for Harry Souter, one of the few players capable of going toe-to-toe for height with Dan Burn. Newcastle United possible starting lineup: Pope, Trippier, Schär, Botman, Burn, Anderson, Guimaraes, Almiron, St. Maximin, Wilson, Gordon. Leicester City possible starting lineup: Iverson, Pereira, Evans, Souter, Castaigne, Ndidi, Sommer, Tet, Madison, Barnes, Iheanacho. Prediction time. Our prediction: Newcastle United 2-0 Leicester City. Although Newcastle may not be able to replicate their high-energy performance against Brighton due to fitness concerns and a short turnaround time, they should still be able to secure a comfortable win against a struggling Leicester side. This victory would solidify Newcastle's place in the Champions League and further diminish Leicester's hopes of avoiding relegation to the Championship.
And a bit more defending on their minds here, I think. Harvey Barnes. And back with Ndidi. Happy to pass the ball, but remaining patient. Well, I think a classic commentator's curse just then. Couldn't make the ideal pass. Wilson. Oh, the threat is there. Can he take advantage? A goal! And it seems they're truly cruising to victory here.
Well, just look at his movement. He knows exactly how to find space, and it's also a tidy finish. That's a nice goal.
And the action underway once more, with the Magpies very much on top. Thomas. Dewsbury Hall. Read it well. And room now out on the flank. Superb block on the back of the ball from the flank. Deflected behind. Corner forthcoming. And the short option preferred. Crossing into the middle. Well, they couldn't take advantage of the opportunity. That is how to apply the pressure. Barnes. Well, no more time left. That concludes the first half here at the King Power Stadium. But I think the crux of the matter is Jamie Vardy hasn't been allowed to have very much to say for himself.
Well, Derek, he has to impose himself on this game. He's been far too quiet so far. If they are to get back into this, he needs to make something happen and start getting some shots away.
So back in business here. The second half is underway. And my goodness, the Magpies really took flight in the first 45. Will it be a repeat performance this half? Wilson. And now passing it through. And under pressure, that was a fine claim. Showing a lot of guile there. Joelinton. And that is how to block. James Madison. Tielemans. Well, couldn't quite find his teammate. Willock. Joelinton. Longstaff. Oh, the keeper made it look routine. It was anything but.
Well, as those